And of course, I had to come live to you guys on the 22nd of August in the year 2022. Hey, God bless you all. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a new partnership announced with the DTCC and R3. We're going to bring up some old memories about the deal that was done with R3 and Ripple. Just a quick summary. Corda Settler is the platform there for R3. The company R3 had an option to buy 5 billion XRP from Ripple back in the day, and they had purchased that option at like less than a cent. And in 2019, they settled up for 1 billion XRP. We didn't get many of the details of that settlement, but we're going to be talking about how that R3 settlement confirms the pre-allocation theories that we've been talking about recently. The crazy theories that, we shouldn't be talking about here, but we do on this channel. We do entertain some crazy stuff. 5 billion XRP is what they were trying to get, and they ended up settling for 1 billion XRP. This settlement confirms the pre-allocation theories for XRP in that escrow account and what is being done with it. Now, we see that they did actually end up getting 1 billion XRP, but now the primary asset that's being used on the Corda platform is XDC. So the bottom line is, when we started our channel, when we started talking about cryptocurrency here in the public space on the social medias, we knew what mattered most was currencies and payments. Right? When it comes down to this cryptocurrency space, how are you going to settle up these back-end treasury flows, these pools of liquidity that are in the trillions of dollars daily? And as we're going to go over, the DTCC settled up $152 trillion worth of securities trading in 2021. Last year. Okay, so big update tonight. We're going to tie all this together for you guys. We'll get started off by going into our current events, quick update, and then we will talk about this pre-allocation theory confirmed and the new partnership announced with DTCC R3. And we'll talk about the historical deal that was the pre-allocated 5 billion XRP. Truly fascinating. We'll get into that. Okay, let's start off by going over to China. Okay, thank you for tuning in tonight, guys. I do appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. Okay. China's central bank has cut key lending rates for the second time in a week. You smell the slowdown, Gold Telegraph asks. And yes, we do sense the reverse course here by China, and I think we're going to start to see some other countries do the same thing. Last-ditch effort to stay alive. And it is coming here back to the United States as well. We're continuing to watch the situation in China develop. Moving on over, Evergrande shares now written off to zero by investment funds. My prediction from October 2021 now became reality. That's a prediction from Dr. Marco Metzler. Dr. Marco Metzler on Twitter. So this has been confirmed. This was a theory. This was speculation, a rumor. Now it is confirmed. The shares being completely written off. Completely bankrupt Evergrande. Okay? Moving on over to Europe. Poland's foreign minister says a reform is needed to allow member states to abandon the euro and return to their national currencies. Gold Telegraph has, where is the violin? The shuffle here that we're seeing is pretty incredible. These other countries are having to move faster. Their dollar's collapsing. The food and energy crisis is getting exponentially worse. We're going to cover that in the next few points here. And they're having to move forward. They don't have time to dance around like Biden and gang over here in the United States. They actually have to get something done because their people are starving. The energy crisis is hitting. Breaking news, Belgian Prime Minister is warning Europe faces up to 10 difficult winters. A decade is a long time. A couple of articles here from Gold Telegraph in regards to the situation that we just continue to watch develop. Really incredible. 10 difficult winters. So people are, debating, are we in a recession? What's the definition of a recession? Is it going to last 12 to 18 months? That's what Elon says. That's what, a lot of the financial media is saying and speculating right now, 12 months to 18 months. Well, the Belgian Prime Minister just comes out and says, we got 10 years of a rough ride, folks. And this is specifically talking about the energy crisis, but I think that we have many issues as well. Is it actually going to last 10 years? I don't know. There's no reason for it to. We have the energy, we have the resources, we have the technology, and, obviously they're suppressing free energy stuff as well. We know about that. That's a whole different conversation. We could talk about that for an hour. But that's why the whole climate change agenda deal, I just don't do that dance. You know what I'm talking about? It's like, let's just actually solve problems. We know that they're suppressing free energy tactics. So why are we talking about living like peasants in order to save the world when we can just actually use technology? Let's actually get something done. Kind of like what we've been talking about in the cryptocurrency space, right? Let's just get something done. Okay, let's continue on here. We got another one. Germany ruling out extending their last 3 nuclear power plants will shut them down December 31st, 2022. So at the end of this year, they're shutting down the last 3 nuclear power plants in Germany. And this is what I'm talking about. We have the energy, we have the resources, we have the plants up and running. But because we have to go forward with this Green New Deal, we have to stay woke. What is politically correct? How can I live like a peasant to save the world? Good luck, God bless to you. They're going to shut down these 3 last power plants, these nuclear power plants, in the end of this year here in Germany, with a natural gas shortage and electricity rates at 10 times normal. You heard that right. 10 times more. Now, this is from Chris Pate here on Twitter. Not enough people are talking about the electricity crisis developing in Europe. We've been covering it every day, haven't we? Every single day, I am sharing a couple pieces out of Europe. I try to cover all the regions. And, obviously I'm speaking mostly as an American focusing on what's taking place in this country, but I like to share about how the situations in the different countries are developing. So we've been talking about the energy crisis here on this channel for sure. Wholesale power futures for the next year's delivery are running roughly 8 to 10 times. He says not 8 to 10%, clarifying 8 to 10 times versus power futures, and the US Euro governments can't eat that cost delta for long. Something will blow. This is insane. I mean, that's 10x. Talk about catching some gains. Energy prices, right? This is unbelievable. 10x. Now, moving on over to the world stage events. And I was just talking about this last night, wasn't I? How I feel like the next major event is coming in over the next month. September once again. Just like September 11th, right? I think that we're going to have something around this time frame. But here we go. FX Hedge reporting that U.S. has intelligence that Russia is preparing strikes on Ukraine's infrastructure in coming days. U.S. official. Okay, we'll continue to watch that. My mentor Dan Pena says that he thinks the only way that Putin can win the war is by dropping a small nuclear device. A couple small nuclear tactical bombs. That's what he says is the only way that he thinks Putin can win the war. Okay, it's just some old man's opinion. He does come from military. He does have military intelligence background. He has tapped into the most elite people in the world, and he's created over multiple trillions of dollars worth of wealth. So I do value his opinion. There's a reason why he's my mentor. He can be your mentor too. I mean, all of his content's for free online. But huge shout out to Dan. I love his takes on things. He's always interesting with his takes. But he says that Putin, is going to drop 1 or 2 little bombs over there to win the war. We'll continue to watch. The U.S. has intelligence that Russia is preparing strikes on Ukraine's infrastructure. I've always been fearful of some sort of dirty bomb, chemical bomb. Obviously, nuke would be pretty tragic. We're praying for peace in the region, just so we're clear. Praying for peace over there, and we'll continue to watch the situation unfold. Okay, now moving it on back to the world stage, the United States stage. Let's move it on back here to the U.S. show. Breaking report, judge formally rejects the Department of Justice argument to keep Trump raid affidavit sealed. So it looks like we will be seeing the affidavit for the Mar-a-Lago raid, and this is going to be interesting to see. It's going to be redacted, I'm sure. There's going to be redactions, of course. We'll see what all they allow to get shared with this. I do think that it's a very interesting situation. We'll continue to watch that one unfold, right? Judge has formally rejected the Department of Justice argument to keep that raid affidavit sealed. So we'll see what's in store. And as always, I just say, let all truth be revealed. Let all truth be revealed. Let the United States rule of law settle it. God bless this country and our Constitution and the good judges that are upholding it. The American Presidency Project, we're tapping into this because I need to do a deep dive here. This is going to be coming up, guys. I'm going to be sharing my thoughts. This has been kind of circulating around. There's a new date that's been put out in December for when Biden's going to roll out the CBDC. I still don't know where people are pulling that dates from, so maybe I'll find that. But nonetheless, we did see this executive order 14067 is being shared and talked about here once again. We were talking about this at the time. I remember talking about this. It was, the president was giving 180 days for, the working groups at the Treasury and the Fed to collab and work together and let's roll out our CBDC, right? I remember at the time going over this and saying, well, this kind of lines up with what we're seeing in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. Like, obviously getting excited, jumping the gun. Oh, are we going to get a settlement because, Biden put out this executive order ensuring responsible development of digital assets. That sounds like reining back in your SEC that is holding back the whole cryptocurrency space, specifically targeting Ripple, Library, and a couple other companies as well. Shout out to Dragon Chain, which they decided to sue recently. That's one of the old school coins, but it's going to be interesting to watch. They have jurisdiction over much of the crypto digital asset space. Don't get it twisted. The securities laws go back to the 1930s. They definitely have regulation over this. But the point being, I'm going to be dropping a deep dive on this executive order and looking at kind of the timeline, how soon they could actually be rolling out the CBDC. I mean, obviously a lot of it's speculation, but when they put out these executive orders and he says we have 180 days to report back, he also said another part of it was 200 days to report back. That put it out to October. I don't know where people are finding this December date. It's like December 13th date, I believe, is what people are throwing around right now. I don't like doing the date. I don't like doing the date dance anymore. You know what I'm talking about? Like, there are dates that we know events are going to take place. Like, we know the end of the Shemitah, the 7-year cycle, is going to be coming here in September. We know that's going to take place, right? We know the next Fed meeting is September 21st and 22nd, I believe. We know that's a for sure, right? But as far as CBDC rollout, executive orders, settlement, stay tuned, because, me and every other channel, we're going to be, trying to figure out the next date that the SEC is going to settle up with XRP Ripple, right? But in the meantime, we watch this situation. Pretty incredible what's taking place now at Tether. So huge shout out to my friend Dex in my Discord group for sharing this with us. He tagged me and said, hey, what's going on here? Something funny is definitely going on. And we've been talking about the Tether situation. Stablecoin Tether's reserves fell 16 billion in the second quarter due to redemptions. So if we look here, Tether had 82.4 billion at the end of March. Now their reserves are down to 66.4 billion at the end of June. Be interesting to see how they end up Q3. Right, this is just data that we're getting from Q2. Losing $16 billion worth of redemptions. Okay. So we're going to continue to watch that. It all ties back in with the, this executive order from Biden, whatever value that executive order from Biden's administration has at this point. We'll get into that. We'll get into some speculation on that. We've been looking at Tether here to implode for a while. We've been looking at the SEC lawsuit to wrap up for a while. But here we have Brian Brooks, former comptroller of the currency, says Ripple and the SEC will settle to enable investors to continue trading and holding XRP in a most recent interview. Now, I know you guys watch a lot of other people too, so you've probably already seen the clip of Brian Brooks. I'm not going to share that clip with you. But nonetheless, the key thing that he mentioned for me was noticing that now Michael Barr is, Michael Barr just got brought in. Did he get brought in as the Treasury? What did he get brought in? But he mentioned Michael Barr being brought in and how Michael Barr was a former advisor at Ripple. And he's basically saying that, yeah, settlement's about to take place. And it's just a matter of some old folks in Congress that don't want to adopt technology are holding this thing back. So I think that Brian understands. And there's a real power struggle underway here in the United States for control over the digital asset space as far as regulations. And so, yeah, and obviously there's a huge threat here with the stable coins to the US dollar reserve currency status as well. So a lot is under stake, and that's why the United States has this situation so stalled out. Now, a recent clip here that we got from David Schwartz talking about the Flare networks. You guys check this out. This is pretty good update.
Yeah, so I'm at the Flare team formerly under the Ripple Spring effort, which was like a venture capital kind of arm at the time. Mm-hmm. We invested in them a few years ago. I'm very impressed with what they're doing. Flare has built a network using different pieces that they took from different blockchains, Ethereum smart contracts, Avalanche consensus, and XRP settlement. And what they're bringing to the XRP world is essentially a DeFi solution. So they have a fast and reliable settlement mechanism, XRP, and they have ways to essentially bring Ethereum-style smart contracts to the XRP world. They've gotten a lot of exchanges to support their airdrop, which I think is really impressive. That's a very difficult thing to do, and that's going to make it easier for people to just for their token to be sort of distributed widely, which I think helps with keeping the system decentralized and helps with, keeping the system reliable. It is fantastic to see companies building systems that add utility to XRP, and I think that the ability to use XRP directly in smart contracts is going to be tremendously useful.
Yep. And, David, freaking genius, man. Every time I listen to this guy speak. But he says what Flare did was kind of interesting, right? They pulled a little bit from Avalanche, Ethereum, and XRP, right? They kind of took the best of each and they created their project and building that utility, not only for XRP, but for other blockchains as well. The other key thing that he mentions is how he got the exchanges. Flare got the exchanges to participate in the airdrop, which actually got people to use this. And it's just further utility coming to the XRP ledger, which we love to see. Now, Flare is supposed to be going live here in September, so we're going to continue to watch that. And then there is some speculation that Flare is Codius rebranded. Codius is supposed to be the most advanced smart contracts platform known to man. We'll continue to see if Codius is going to be revived, if Flare is the rebranded Codius. Will we ever know? I don't know, but like David says, we're just going to have more and more utility being built on this ledger, and that's going to be incredible to watch here, especially after we get regulatory clarity here soon. Now, Mr. Poole put out a couple tweets. He put out a lot of tweets actually tonight. So he put out this one, DTCC, which I snagged that picture and I put it in my thumbnail here tonight. And he put out a bunch of other posts as well. But I do find it interesting what all Poole has posted. I know a lot of people, it's like, the community's divided about Poole and Riddlers and whatever. And for me, I just like to have fun with it, and when I see that he's posting all these images, these, basically he's giving us little drops of what is to come. So tonight, he posted DTCC, or I should say they, because we don't know what Mr. Poole identifies as. So let's just say they. Let's call them a they, them. But nonetheless, today it was announced, R3, we're excited to share that the DTCC selected R3's Corda as the underlying DLT for its Project Ion settlement platform, which is now live in a parallel production environment, processing over 100,000 transactions per day. Read about it here. Let's go see, what is the DTCC? The Depository Trust Company, DTCC's Central Securities Depository subsidiary, provides settlement services for virtually all equity, corporate, and municipal debt trades and money market instruments in the U.S. In 2021, approximately 643 million securities valued at 152 trillion were settled at DTCC in an efficient and risk-controlled process. The payment and transfer of securities ownership occurs at DTC, which provides custody and asset servicing for securities issues for more than 170 countries and territories valued at US 87 trillion as of 2021. Assets include underwriting corporate actions, processing, securities processing, global tax services, and issuer services. They're getting settlement done for the big boys and girls on the back end, to put it very simply, to the tune of $152 trillion per year, according to the data from last year. 2021, 152 trillion, 643 million securities total. Okay, so they have selected R3, which uses Corda Settler, which is a blockchain agnostic payment platform. Just so we're clear, because I know some of you guys who have been in this game for a while, you understand R3 Corda Settler and how it works. But for many, for a quick refresher to bring everyone up to speed, Corda Settler is a blockchain agnostic platform. That is why initially, if I pull up this article right here from 2018, R3 launches Universal Settler application to facilitate global payments on Corda, XRP, the first settlement mechanism. So bringing you back in time, XRP was the first settlement mechanism on Corda Settler. This is meant to be a universal settler application, right? And so now we have the DTCC has selected R3 to build their project on. They're settling 100,000 transactions per day, which you know is pretty good. To give you a sense though, Swift does 33 million messages transactions per day. So, 100,000 per day, that's just getting started. I think that we're going to see a lot more going forward. But as far as the dollar value that is set to be settled here, we're talking hundreds of trillions of dollars per year. Just in this DTCC. But we go back and we look here. We're going to go back in history because I want to clarify why we talk about the pre-allocation theories, why we talk about deals for 5 billion XRP, 10 billion XRP from that escrow, going to the Treasury Department, going to Bank of America, going to Swift, going to R3, because we've seen it already done, okay? So originally, R3 had a option to buy 5 billion XRP from Ripple out of the escrow. Okay, this is going back in 2016. Ripple and R3 entered into an agreement whereby R3 would promote Ripple to its consortium of banks. However, the lawsuit refers to the agreement as a technology provider agreement. Additionally, a separate option contract was created, which Ripple says was intended as compensation. The option gave R3 the right to buy 5 billion XRPs at 0.0085, less than a penny. 5 billion XRP for less than a penny in 2016. That's what the option was. And the option would expire in 2019, September of 2019. At the time of the agreement, the XRP price was a little below that. Okay? In 2017, June, Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, informed R3 it was terminating the agreement, allegedly on the basis that R3 had not upheld its side of the bargain. On that date, the XRP price was 28 cents and the option was worth 1.35 billion. It appears the promotion contract failed to stipulate performance clauses such as the number of banks introduced by Ripple to R3, or by R3 to Ripple. Sorry, right. So R3 had all these banks, the likes of JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and others. Right here, if I scroll down, it says in its claims, it refers to Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and Santander, who chose not to remain in R3's consortium of almost 40 banks. So that's what it is R3 had over 40 banks. And what's interesting to note is that Santander ended up becoming a Ripple partner in 2018, or maybe even 2017. I forget what year it was. But after this took place, and after they left R3, Santander just went straight to Ripple for that deal. You see how this works? What did we talk about in last night's live stream? Everyone's going to be forced to use XRP whether they like to or not. It's all on the back end. So in 2018, Ripple countersued R3 claiming that they had breached the contract. Okay, yes, we understand that. And what ended up happening is we really didn't get the numbers until the SEC lawsuit. This SEC lawsuit that we're now in brought forth this. This was part of it. It was used as evidence, right? I think that they were trying to use this evidence that Brad and team were selling XRP as a security. Hey, based off of our efforts, you're going to see adoption and growth in this. That's why we're able to sell you this option for 5 billion XRP. I think that this is where the only case that can be made for them saying that they marketed XRP as a security back in the day comes into play. Today's XRP, just as Brian Brooks stated earlier in today's show, we talked about this. You guys just saw the most recent clip where Brian Brooks says that today's XRP is not a security, right? How did Brad and team market it back in the day? That's a whole other conversation, and that's directly with them. Today's XRP is most definitely not a security. But the SEC lawsuit documents show that R3 bought at least $240 million worth of XRP, but also the company bought 1.4, because the price was down to about 24 cents. So they bought 1 billion XRP tokens in 2019 as part of the settlement. We didn't know about this until this information came out in this lawsuit, but this confirmed that R3 originally had that option for 5 billion XRP. They ended up settling for 1 billion XRP. We don't know what the exact price is. Maybe, I guess that's where that 240 million worth of XRP is coming from. But nonetheless, they did come up with 1 billion XRP, and we don't know how much they've been buying over the last few years. You know, that probably wasn't their only purchase of XRP, if I had to venture, if I had to make a guess. But just as a quick refresher, I wanted to pull this back up. R3's blockchain network, Corda, to use XDC as settlement coin. Corda, the blockchain-based platform for institutions operated by R3 to interoperate with DLT and legacy systems through a Corda-XinFin bridge. So this is going to be the bridge between R3's Corda and blockchain networks. Okay, so this ended up becoming the primary settlement coin. Okay, so XRP was the first, XDC is now the primary, but nonetheless, Corda Settler is still blockchain agnostic. They can still tap into other blockchains and use whatever blockchains they want to as well. But this is the trillion-dollar problems that we're looking at solving here. 152 trillion were settled at the DTCC just last year alone. And remember, when you get payment flows of $6 trillion daily for a SWIFT network, right? You get payment flows at $152 trillion per year at the DTCC. This is money moving back and forth every day, $150 trillion per year. We look at the global derivatives market, multiple quadrillions. That's money that's moving every single day as well. This is different. This is so much different. This is where everyone gets so confused. And I shared an old video today on YouTube. I shared an old TikTok that I posted last year where I said the XRP will go to 10K. I don't care when it happens. I don't care what the price XRP goes to when they flip the switch. When we finally get the settlement, when we finally get regulatory clarity and XRP does a pump to, $50 over the next year or something like that. Long term, I really think that the price goes somewhere really crazy, 3, 4, and 5 digits, because this type of money flow, this type of value is getting settled up daily, yearly, and the value of these markets that have to remain liquid is in the quadrillions of dollars. It's very simple. Today's announcement from the DTCC partnering up with R3, that's real adoption. That is what we want to see in the cryptocurrency space. This is why we've been looking at the XDC token. We did our interview with Quincy Jones last year in August, and we've been watching what he's been working on over at XinFin XDC. Okay, Quincy Jones, one of the lead developers over there. Had him on our show just about a year ago. If you want to check that out, you can go check it out on my YouTube. Okay, but he got us tapped in on XDC big time, right? And ever since, we've been following that one closely. But nonetheless, it all goes back to everyone's trying to get a little piece of Ripple, or they're trying to hold back Ripple. And going back to that right here, going back to this example right here of Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and Santander, who chose not to remain in R3's consortium of almost 40 banks. Well, what do we have here? Santander ends up becoming a partner of Ripple, right, without using R3. And then we see JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, right, they do JPM coin. We see Goldman Sachs invest in Consensus and Ethereum. They're basically actively working to hold back Ripple XRP, investing in Ethereum and other blockchains, investing in their own projects. But then we see those who decide not to go against the grain, which would be Santander, they partner up with Ripple, right? They partner up with Ripple, and then we see R3 buys $1 billion worth of XRP. They must have been pretty happy with that investment, right? They got to execute that option when XRP was at like 20 something cents for buying it at less than a penny. I shouldn't say. I don't know what the price was. We know that they bought $1 billion worth of XRP. We don't know exactly what they had to pay for that. But basically, because they broke the terms of those contracts, and Ripple has some of the best lawyers in the world, they were able to come up with that settlement. Which, if one, that shows us the precedent for pre-allocation theory for XRP, absolutely valid. It's not crazy theory. It's already been done. It's to the tune of 5 billion XRP. But then it also shows the precedent for settlement. When you sit across from those Ripple lawyers, you better have your story straight. These guys are killers. This is no joke. And this is what I've been talking about in this space, is this isn't Ethereum Vitalik's program, unicorn t-shirts. No. This is gentlemen in suits across the table that will, metaphorically speaking, kill you. I mean, these are killer lawyers in the court of law. These guys will rip your head off. It's crazy. I mean, their team is just incredible. And they literally have a former director of enforcement representing them in this lawsuit as well. But nonetheless, guys, I think this was a great piece of news to cover here tonight for you guys, and to bring up a little bit of history in regards to the R3, because it's so important to understand that, yes, companies, banks, financial institutions are working out deals for pre-allocated XRP. They want options at that escrow. Okay? And then we are seeing payment networks, settlement layers, clearing houses that settle $150 trillion per year starting to roll out their plans. And this is the pools of liquidity that we've been waiting to open up. Right? I see I have a little bit left of my adult beverage, my cold adult beverage right next to me. I've been ranting and raving this whole time, but I want to get a few questions in while we have a little bit left here to enjoy. Let's take some Q&A questions to end this session. If we could smash that thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, Solomon, exactly. Yeah, Solomon is an absolute killer. Check out Temple Coin. Probably, Doug, I appreciate the suggestion, but I don't know. I guess if anybody wants to check out Temple Coin, not financial advice, but kind of sounds like a silly name. I don't, any coin that has a silly name, I don't play with. Location unknown. Are you still in Costa Rica? I am in an unknown compound. Most definitely. Why are you up so late? Isn't an emergency? Man, I'm just busy as heck right now, and I'm taking every chance I can to come live to create my content and to continue sharing this news with you guys. Continue sharing the news that matters and the strategies and the investments that we're making in real time. I want to keep you guys up to date. So that's what we're doing. Hey, let's check the markets too while we're here. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I am not trading. I'm waiting for my next setup right now. I'm waiting for a pump. I'll tell you guys right now, this is what I'm looking for right now as far as tradings, moves in the market. We're coming up on our new moon, August 27th. I'm expecting a little bit of a relief rally to finish off this month before we get shaken up and go crazy next month. So I'm looking for Bitcoin. The actual levels I think are about like 23K. I'm looking for it to break above like 23K before I look to enter my next short on Bitcoin. That's not financial advice. I'm not trying to give you the signal to trade. I'm just saying, hey, take a look. This is what I'm doing. Bitcoin at the time of this recording is at 21,200. Ethereum's at 1,600, and your XRP is at 3391. So I bought XRP just a few days ago. I actually meant to buy some yesterday. Since it's still at 33 cents, I will probably buy some when I get off this stream or tomorrow morning. Probably going to buy some more. Brian, what's up, man? Another great night. Keeping it real. All the best, Brian. I appreciate the love and the support, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sounds like a parabolic signal. I don't know where the signal guys are. I don't know where the boy blockchains are. I don't know where the Jakey Jakes went. I don't know where all these kids went, man. I don't follow or pay attention to any of them, so I don't know where they went. But on August 6th, I told my Discord, I think I even said it in some of my YouTube streams over the next week or two, because I don't really hide anything. I mean, it's so simple. My strategies are so simple that I have nothing to hide. But I know in my weekly call on August 6th, we said Bitcoin's going back down to 20,700 is the target. I will say this, sometimes we're so far ahead of the game, that's what messes me up on my trades. Like, I was in a Bitcoin short for way too long because I got in way too early. Like, the move was delayed. The relief rally got extended up. We went up to 25,000 before they tanked it down to 20,700. But that's kind of the problem with being so early on these moves is August 6th, I called 20,700, and then it happens on the 19th or the 20th? So it's like 2.5 weeks ahead of the game. Much love, Brian, though. $50 super chat, bro. You better go buy some XRP too. You better, well, I shouldn't say that. Not financial advice. Don't go buy XRP, Brian. Do whatever you feel is best. But hey, man, I appreciate the support. Do I own XDC? I have moved my portfolio around. Right now, I don't own any XDC, which you might be surprised to hear. Although I believe in the coin a lot, I'm not worried about my ability to buy it at a later time at a lower price. Not financial advice, but that's what I'm looking at doing. I've reallocated some of my bags, so I no longer own XDC at this time, but I'm looking to re-enter at a lower price. That's why. I took a loss for tax reasons. Let me explain that to you guys. I was at a loss on my XDC, so I sold it off. I took the loss, and I'm looking to re-enter. Okay? That's not financial advice. That's not tax advice. How much XRP is good? I can't answer that question. I think that having a couple XRP is nice to have. When do you think fiat currencies won't be tradable anymore due to crypto adoption? I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, the CBDCs will be rolling out probably over the next year or so. I don't know how much they're going to block all the stable coins, everything else. 90% of cryptos will be going away as far as fiat currencies. Well, I think that paper is going away. I think that we go completely cashless in the next year or two. But who knows? It could take 5 years. It could take 5 years to go cashless. We might never go cashless. Maybe they do keep the notes around. I don't really care. Like, which I know kind of shocks a lot of people because, I understand and I respect the privacy. I understand having cash. I might carry a few bucks on me to have. I do understand that purpose, that utility. But as the world goes completely digital and I have nothing to hide, I don't really care. It's just like, I know that they want to go cashless, and to me, it doesn't really bother me. It's just a matter of privacy and the ability for them to like shut us down from what we can buy. We need to fight to resist that, and that cannot be allowed, especially here in the United States. But we're in that fight right now. Bitcoin and Ethereum won't go away. They just won't be the top tokens anymore, which is why I don't get that. It's like best case scenario for Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're able to stick around, but they don't really have utility. Ethereum doesn't work. What kind of gains are you expecting? I mean, nothing there gets me excited. How will the small business survive that rely on cash? It's so simple. Everyone has PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Samsung Pay, Apple Pay. The XRP ledger can function offline. It's like, I think that, it's just going to be payments, cards. Well, and then a lot of the masses will take the chip too. So, they'll just, pay with their palm, pay with their face. chip, Apple Watch. But the small businesses are getting wiped out though as well, right? We're watching that unfold. The small businesses are absolutely getting shattered. Even the big businesses are getting wrecked, but Main Street has just been beaten up over the last 2 years. How much XRP do you need to produce generational wealth and the lawsuit is settled? You need to get tapped in, man. If that's the question, you got to get tapped in on a program. You got to get in. You got to get in. Whether that's my program, whether that's, it's really your own research is what it is. Let me answer that the correct way. You have to be doing your own research to understand, first off, the potential of these assets, where they could go. And second off, the strategies for creating and preserving generational wealth. We talk about that every single day on this channel. My channel is, we're putting on a clinic for building generational wealth in this channel every single day. The program works. Countries like the Philippines are heavy cash societies and smartphones aren't as prevalent. Well, I think that as you're going to see, all the devices can get repurposed and sent overseas. I don't think that that's an issue. I don't think that we'll have a lack of devices. And if those countries want to use cash, but like Zimbabwe's introducing gold coins as well too. So, you know, yeah, whether it's plastic card, here's the thing. Let me answer all these questions the proper way. It doesn't freaking matter. Is the money, is the value coming into your bank account? That's what matters. I don't care whether we're using cash, seashells, rocks. I don't care what currency we're trading, what commodity I need to get paid with. I can get paid in silver. I can get paid in freedom seeds. I can get paid in gas, diesel. I don't care where the world goes. I don't care about CBDCs. I don't care. What I focus on is that money, is that value coming into my bank account. That's what matters. As far as the third world, I've been saying since the beginning of my channel that I love what I'm seeing Ripple and XLM Stellar doing overseas. I love what crypto can do for these countries. I love the Elons bringing them online with the internet. Once they get internet, give them phones, they'll have decentralized currency. They're set free. It's not that simple. Obviously, there's other issues in these third world countries across the world, but I want to get something done. And unlike Ethereum and all these other blockchains that don't work, we know XRP works. This is what should be, getting adopted over there, along with XLM, Algorand, and a few other blockchains as well. But when it comes to, are they going to ban cash? When are they going to roll out CBDCs? To be honest, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm creating generational wealth, whatever resources we need to use. Here's the thing. I want to make sure that I have the resources, and the currency doesn't matter. I want to make sure that I have the assets and the resources that matter, that provide cash flow. The currency doesn't matter. Whether it's cash, whether it's silver, gold, XRP, XLM, Bitcoin would fail. Ethereum's trash. Proof of work doesn't work. Whether a flare hits the earth and we go back to the Stone Ages and we're trading whatever, rocks. We go back to trading gold, strictly gold and silver. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Cardano is doing great things in Africa too. Great point, Carlos. Great point. We love to see it. I love to see that. If they control on-off exchanges, we may never be able to spend more than $250,000 a year on luxury. I'll worry about that problem when I get there. You know what I'm saying? I think that in this space, life changer, that's a good, it's something to think about, but I'll worry about that problem when I get there. I'll worry, and that's the thing. A lot of people, how much do I need for generational wealth? Well, you're going to make it, but are you going to keep it? Ethereum merge is a joke, no lower gas fees. Exactly. Please explain the clinic and how it works. I would just say hit that follow button. Don't be a troll. Actually open up your mind and hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable. If you want to tap in here, you got to hold yourself accountable. Life changer. I feel you too. Yes, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that as well. I'm not looking at luxury purchases. I'm just looking at buying a stupid amount of real estate and businesses and assets and commodities that matter, like stacking up resources that matter. Investing in land that has year-round running water, that has a well with great clean drinking water. That's what I'm talking about. Buying organic farms. You know, buying a piece of property, creating an organic farm. Funding schools. You know, well, for me, this really became an issue. Obviously, I just had my daughter. Now I got to think about where I'm going to send her in 5 or 6 years. And I look at the public school program. That program ain't flying over here. Are you kidding me? Absolutely not. Thank you, but we will be passing on that. If you are looking to get some precious metals, you guys can go on over to my website, by the way. Link in bio on TikTok and link down below on YouTube in the description. You guys can catch that there. The very top of my website is the precious metals. Just hit that link. And you got it. There's a couple minimum requirements and everything, but very solid, reputable partner. Okay. But yeah, head on over, check it out. You got to have 20,000 liquid or in savings, and you got to make a minimum investment of 5,000, or you're going to be looking at rolling over your 401k, Roth, whatever your 401k retirement account is. You can do that as well. So just got partnered up with them. So if you're looking to get and become a qualified investor over there in that program, you can head on over to my website, check that out. Precious metals linked on down below in the description as well. Zach's hairdresser never sleeps. Thank you. Try to stay clean and professional for you guys. It's too hot these days. I can't wear my button ups. Can't put on the suit, but it's all coming. I'm going to be standing up at the stand-up desk with the suit on. The haters won't be able to say that we aren't professional. Do I believe that we've been on the moon? No, absolutely not. Just to be straight up with you, absolutely not. No. Yo, what's up, Lance? How's it going, man? We will be rocking flip-flops on the island. Absolutely. My thoughts on Apollo and Holo. Haven't taken a look at either. Oh, I love it. I love my TikTok family. And the TikTok family includes the TikTok haters. You know, here's another thing too, though. It's like I was talking about with the cash and whether we're going to get CBDCs this year or next year, you know, what the whole program is. It's the same thing with the moon landing, man. It's one of those theories where I just don't care. I don't care to try to prove whether or not we did. It's neither here nor there. I don't care. I don't know. You know, I've been there and I've done all those theories, man. I've gone down all those rabbit holes. It's fun, it's cool, it's a good time, but it doesn't change the situation, the reality in your bank account. It doesn't change your situation in your real life. You know, I talk about the financial aspect of, you know, this quantum shift that we're going through, but you know, I should probably highlight more of just, you know, the fact of we have so many people now that are tapped in on a different frequency than the reality that everyone accepted leading up until this moment. The last 2 years really woke up a lot of people, and I think that that is what started the shift. And it's really growing and spreading, and I think that that's why our channel is doing so well, is that so many people are just appreciate how we keep it real. We talk about stuff that matters. You know, we're not afraid to touch on some of this other stuff that needs to be talked about. It's important, it's relevant, and it impacts our lives. That's why we're talking about it. But yeah, I think that not only are we investing in the QFS, I think that we're tapped in on that quantum level. I think that me and you, you know, listening to this show, we're both filled with an incredible energy. And for me, I wake up every day. I'm here at 10:40 p.m. on the West Coast, nearly 11 p.m. I wake up at 6, try to get a live stream, try to get a show out in the morning. Obviously, I didn't make it this morning because I was up last night till 11 p.m. Tonight, I'm up till 11 again, so I won't be dropping a live stream tomorrow morning either. But I mean, guys, I don't even know how many hours that is. I don't even think about, I don't clock in. The only thing I do is I clock out to go spend time with my family. And like I've been saying, I think that for me, other than focusing on my businesses, I'm trying to create a really good environment for my family going forward. For my daughter, I mentioned I got to figure out where I send her to school, how we get her educated, what program we get her on. You know, just focusing on making my family situation better. How do I have time to spend with my daughter during these precious moments, right? This is the stuff that I think about on a daily basis. Other than that, you know, it's pretty simple right now. Stack as much freaking cash as possible, and God willing, we make it out to the other side. And if we make it out to the other side, I know we got generational wealth. I know we got businesses that are going to be flourishing. I know that we're going to have real estate properties that cash flow. I know that we're going to create a lot of equity in the businesses and the real estate that we invest in. Digital assets, XRP, just part of the strategy. Just part of the very simple strategy. But God, did we go hard on that one too. Did not think that I would get my bag of XRP this big, but hey, thank you. Praise Jesus. I hear Trump will return to the White House in October. Same thing, man. Doesn't matter when. It doesn't matter when Trump returns. It's just a matter of understanding that he will and the impact that's going to have on this country. The impact that that's going to have on this falling empire. The chaos that will ensue. The market collapse that will occur. I think it's going to be a while. I think it's going to be a minute. I think that he comes back in 2024. But like I said, I don't care. I don't care. All I care about is letting all truth be revealed in the United States Court of Laws. Let's stop the redactions. Let's stop the bullshit. Let's stop playing games. Let's be adults. And let's fix these damn issues that this world faces and that this country faces. It's very freaking simple. Let's get out of our feelings. Let's stop being woke, and let's actually get something done. If we need to hold someone accountable, let's do it. Whether they're Democrat, Republican, left, right, up, down, they believe in this, they believe in that, they love this, they, them, don't give a shit. Let's get something done. Let's move humanity forward, please. We have the technology, we have the solutions. We need decentralized media, decentralized voting systems secured by blockchain technology, decentralized currency, and we're set free. But hey, I understand that the enemy, the evil that we're working against, they're working nonstop too. Which for me is why it's so easy to be up here 11 p.m. on the Monday and doing this, because I know that the enemy's working against us right now. They're working against me. They have set up our country and most of the planet to go through not only a recession, but an inflationary depression. I don't want to participate in that recession. Now, I want to participate in buying up cheap assets for pennies on the dollar. I want to partake in buying the future, reserve digital currency of the financial system. I want to partake in that part of what we're going through, but I don't want my businesses, my balance sheet, my household to participate in that recession. My mentor, Dan Pena, said that back during, I think, the 70s, when he was doing his big oil company that he created that was ended up being worth over $400 million. He said that during that time, it was basically another oil crisis, and he said that his company, they acted as if they had no limits to their abilities, and they chose not to participate in the energy recession. Very simple. And they didn't. And he made it out of it. He used mergers and acquisitions. It's basically the Andrew Carnegie model. Andrew Carnegie was a ruthless killer. But nonetheless, Dan Pena's model is based off the Andrew Carnegie model, which goes all the way back, hundreds of years, right? But that's what he used, and that's what I'm trying to use right now too. We're not going to participate in that recession. That recession, it's not that we're not choosing to identify it as a recession. No, it definitely is. It's just it's not going to be reflected on our balance sheet, on our cash flow statement. Thanks, but no thanks. Andrew Butko, Andrew, I appreciate that super chat. Haven't heard many people talk about Uphold's 2% back XRP program that ended July 15th. Thoughts on why it ended, and did you take advantage? I did not. And I am kind of just waiting for the green light, cryptocurrency regulations. All that stuff's coming. I'm not worried about it. You're going to be able to stake your XRP here. You're going to be able to put your XRP up as collateral on a loan here. There's going to be all sorts of solutions. Everyone's going to be willing to take your XRP. You better believe that. So there's going to be all sorts of programs too. That was cool though. I appreciate that super chat, and I'm really excited for what is coming soon. What's coming, once this is all done. In the meantime, I don't look to stake my XRP. I don't do any of it. The one that I almost did was the Coinbase, the XLM cashback. I almost did that. But nonetheless, I definitely recommend participating in those programs if you can. I mean, obviously not financial advice, but it's very simple. If you can just buy your groceries, buy your everyday essentials, and get paid 4% back in XLM, that's a good deal. Yeah, I think I might have to go buy some more XRP at 33 cents. Remember, XRP hit 33 cents in the 33rd week of the year. Shout out to the Freemasons, I guess. I mean, what are we supposed to say? Oh, it's just a coincidence, I guess. Random, whatever. Shout out to the Freemasons. Social credit system worries me though. If the system gets that bad, man, and we go into a Hunger Games society, I'm prepared to live in the woods. I got some skills. I got my backwoodsman skills. If we got to do that deal, we got to do Boy Scout skills. Exactly. Do you think that 87,000 IRS agents were hired to collapse the middle class to slow our investments? I think that they need to make sure that they're getting all the money that they can. I think that their systems need to be brought up to the 21st century, but I think that it's kind of overhyped. But nonetheless, they definitely are going to be getting all of the taxes when the system goes completely digital. Like everything's basically tracked and traced right now, but they need to bring their systems online to the 21st century, and then they're going to be going after everyone for every last penny. Is that going to collapse the middle class of America? Well, yeah, because the middle class of America pays the most of taxes. That's the problem. That's why the middle class stays the middle class. There's a reason why Trump paid nothing on taxes, why Elon pays nothing, why Jeff Bezos pays nothing on taxes. The rich don't pay taxes. So yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that that's part of the middle class getting wiped out. It is, actually, yeah. It is. I guess I was just saying that basically I'm not terribly worried about it, because when you understand the tax law was written by the rich for the rich, then you understand that you just need to get an accountant on your payroll, someone good on your payroll, that can do your taxes, that can build you a tax strategy so that you can be like Trump, Elon, and Bezos and pay no taxes. You can decide how much you want to pay in taxes. What a pleasure, guys. I love seeing all your comments, answering some of your questions. If you guys can do me a favor, if you could just smash that thumbs up for me on the YouTube, I'd greatly appreciate that. And then if you want to join our exclusive Discord community, head on over to my Patreon and you can sign up there. You join our Patreon and you will get access to our Discord community, exclusive Discord community, where we do our weekly calls. We have special classes. I have my business development program going on in there as well, looking at updating that. I'm in the process of finishing out that program. So, we try to bring a lot of value there into the private community. You can show some support over there. You can also sign up. There's a 5 spot if you just want to support the channel. There's a 5 spot on Patreon. Doesn't get you access to the Discord, but it is a way to support the channel. So nonetheless, I appreciate all of you guys. As I mentioned as well, you can get some precious metals on over at the website now as well. If you're looking to do that, head to my website, and at the very top, it'll say precious metals. You can find it there. Thank you so much, guys. It is always a pleasure. I see we've been on now for an hour and 3 minutes, so I will be wrapping up this session, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Take care, and God bless. Real quick side point. I just noticed that these plants look so fake. They're so obviously fake. That's awesome. But I am going to be redoing my studio, so I'm not too worried about it. I probably won't even have any plants in the new studio setup. But yeah, we're going to see. I want to do my stand-up desk for like my news reports, like my full, like my quick updates where I just come on for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and it's straight to the point. I'm not sitting down, having an adult beverage, shooting the shit with you guys. But I want to be able to go back and forth. So if I'm going to do like a hangout session, I can just, sit in the office chair here and have a good time with you guys. But I am looking forward to the new studio setup as well. So I know I've been teasing that for a while, but it is coming here soon. Kelly, thank you. I appreciate that. She says, God bless you and your family. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I was just laughing at how fake that plant looked. Like, that's hilarious. Okay, YouTube. I need a bar and a mini fridge in there. Man, yeah. Yeah, we got to keep the cold ones flowing sometimes because it gets a little hot up in here during the summer. Man, my office gets cooking up in here. Need to get the AC set up. But the truth is, what really happened is wifey took the real plants that I had jacked from her and she replaced them with these fake plants. That's what happens, you know. Okay, YouTube. I will see you guys in the next one. You guys have a fantastic evening. Thank you. Take care and God bless.